In a place there lived a child named Andon. This child was very foolish, despite his mother teaching him many things. However, Andon always seemed to forget everything she taught him. One morning, his mother, extremely angry, picked up a wooden stick and while hitting Andon said, "You foolish child, get out of here immediately." So, frightened, Andon ran out of the house. He kept running until the sun went down and even beyond into the evening, eventually reaching the foothills of a deep mountain. At the foothills, there was a large cave, and at the entrance sat a mountain monster. Mountain monsters usually stayed alone in the deep mountains. They were tall, with eyes that emitted light and large mouths capable of doing cruel things. Generally, encountering such mountain creatures would make people flee in fear. However, being naturally foolish, Andon was unaware of the terrifying nature of this mountain monster. So, fearlessly, he said to the monster, "I was kicked out of my home by my mother. Can you take me in?" The mountain monster, seeing Andon unafraid, thought he was a courageous child and decided to shelter him. Andon, now living with the mountain monster, continued to make many mistakes due to his inherent foolishness. Yet, he worked diligently, earning the affection of the mountain monster. Over time, he became plump and rosy-cheeked. Unknowingly, Andon had been living in the deep mountains for 2 years. Suddenly, he felt the desire to return home. Observing Andon's distress every day, the mountain monster said, "Andon, do you want to go home? All right, I'll let you go home. You can leave tomorrow. Since you've worked diligently here, I'll give you a donkey to ride home. When you get home, whisper in the donkey's ear. Proceed with that one. But remember, don't say it on the way, or you'll face consequences." The next day, Andon rode the donkey given by the mountain monster back home. However, being forgetful, he soon forgot the mountain monster's instructions and, loudly said, "Proceed with that one." The donkey's rear continuously produced pearls, exciting Andon. He thought, "Wow, this donkey can create treasures. Great! I'll bring joy to my mother quickly." However, halfway home, as it was getting dark, Andon found a nearby inn to spend the night. Anxious about the donkey's treasure-producing ability, he instructed the innkeeper, "Take care of him, but don't say, 'Proceed with that one.'" Curious, the innkeeper secretly approached the donkey and said, "Proceed with that one." The donkey's rear started generating treasures. The innkeeper, delighted and with ill intentions, decided to swap the donkey with a normal one. Arriving home, Andon prudently presented the donkey to his mother, saying, "Look, I brought a wonderful gift for you. Soon, there will be plenty of treasures." However, nothing appeared, and he faced another scolding. Once again, Andon was expelled from home. With nowhere to go, he returned to the mountain monster's cave. Despite being angry, the mountain monster decided to take him in again, recognizing Andon's diligence. After working diligently for another year in the deep mountains, Andon once again thought about going home. This time, the mountain monster gave him a beautifully woven tablecloth and said, "Take this. When you get home, say, 'Open, close.' But remember, don't say it on the way." Forgetful as always, Andon soon forgot the mountain monster's instructions. On the way home, he loudly exclaimed, "Open!" The tablecloth automatically unfolded, revealing numerous rings, bracelets, necklaces, and other treasures. Then Andon said, "Close!" and the tablecloth folded back up. Excited, he thought, "Great, I have a fantastic tablecloth. Maybe I can surprise my mother with it." As before, Andon arrived at the inn as night fell. Unfortunately, the innkeeper swapped the magical tablecloth once again. Carrying the switched tablecloth, Andon, unaware of the change, returned home. When he presented it to his mother, nothing happened, leading to another scolding. For the third time, Andon sought refuge with the mountain monster, who, despite being angry, took him in once again. After working diligently for another year in the deep mountains, Andon naturally developed the urge to go home. This time, the mountain monster gave him a well-carved wooden stick and said, "Don't casually say, 'Stick, stand up,' or 'Stick, go to sleep.'" Taking the wooden stick, Andon headed home. However, on the way, he forgot the mountain monster's instructions and exclaimed, Stick, stand up. This time, things took a different turn. The wooden stick left Andon's hand, continuously striking him. Panicking, he quickly said, "Stick, go to sleep." And the wooden stick obediently returned to his hand. Happy with his newfound tool, Andon thought, "I can use this stick to reclaim the stolen items from the innkeeper." Upon reaching the inn, the malicious innkeeper observed Andon's possessions carefully and noticed the wooden stick. Before sleeping, Andon specifically warned the innkeeper, "This stick is crucial. Guard it well, but never say, 'Stick, stand up.'" However, thinking that the stick could produce treasures like the previous items, the innkeeper, when Andon was asleep, said, "Stick, stand up." The stick immediately stood up, relentlessly striking the innkeeper. Despite trying to escape, the innkeeper couldn't elude the persistent stick. When the innkeeper was on the brink of collapse, Andon offered a deal. "Give back what you stole and I'll save you." With no other option, the innkeeper reluctantly returned the hidden donkey and tablecloth. Finally, relying on the third gift from the mountain monster, Andon brought back the donkey and tablecloth successfully. This time, he finally made his mother happy.